Hey, welcome to Early Access Control Alpha, Beta, and Abandoned. And we are taking a look at HopeLine by DHH Game. This game released March 28th, 2019, so it's almost a year old. And it is a classic theme of survival. Zombies, beasts, animals survive, cold, hunger, thirst, blah, 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 blah. So you know what this game's all about. Anyways, it looks pretty inspired by Rust and probably Hurt World, and who knows what other game. The reason why I've chose to do this one right now is that it's a newer title and it looks like it might have still some people kind of circulating around it. And it's always good if you can catch an earlier, newer release that seemed to have gone abandoned to make sure that you can get a video out and prevent potential buyers from coming across and purchasing this. And if it's still this new, there's very well a chance that somebody's going to come by and try this game out. Now, the one thing about it, it is priced pretty lowly, $3.39 for a survival game. That's a hell of a deal if the content is there and it's being steadily worked upon. Now I've reached out to the forum and somebody actually replied with some insight to it. So they've given me a little bit of a scoop that about that price, and we'll get back to that in a couple minutes. So you can see I already have an hour and 0.1 already played in this. This game loads like complete shit. So I've played maybe 3 to 5 minutes of actual game time. Just jumped in the thing. The rest of the time is me loading the world. So I'm gonna start that now, and I'll just kind of show you what it kind of like what's going on. Yeah, it's got to load all the assets in the world and all the unpack everything, and I don't know what's going on at all, but it's terrible. Oh, and if you've noticed on the front page, we'll take a look at it in a second. I'm gonna select this server. The ping's terrible. Looks like it's based in China. Yeah, and we're gonna join the game. We're gonna let it do its thing, so I'm gonna alt tab back. Here it's listed as a single player game. So if you noticed on that page before when we select the server, there's no ability to actually create a single player server. So right then and there, that this is a developer that is either doesn't care very much about the product that they're trying to sell, or just, you know, maybe is trying to finagle some people some interest into HopeLine because it's going to be queried as a single player game. It's also not a massively multiplayer game. It looked like those caps were around 40 players on those servers. So, I mean, that's definitely not that. So this query search here is probably going to bring in some other people, and you never know if a potential early access buyer or backer is going to be, you know, hoodwinked into buying a game like this. And it's unfortunate, and that's kind of why we make these videos and try to spread the word out so people can avoid kind of games like this. And one of the bigger things is that some of these questions that people are bringing up, they're not even being addressed on the forum. There's no communication from the developer at all. So you can see I posted here a couple days ago. Was it always $3 or did the price drop? And then Flimsy Core said he indeed paid $8.99, which would be like 12 something here, maybe even more. And yeah, that got me thinking, because my first reaction when you see a cheap game like a survival game that has a price tag that low, it means that the developer did that after a fact. Now, when it actually happened, hopefully you'll learn a little bit more about it. But I mean, there's certain tactics that you know, shittier developers will use, and they'll actually know that they're going to stop working on their game. They'll drop the price and try to get you know, under the whole understanding, trying to increase community size. Well, if you haven't provided any communication or updates or anything to your game that people have already purchased for, and you're not telling the people that are already backing you what's going on, then you're not doing that, and it's kind of a smoke and mirrors thing. We can call it like kind of like the smoke bomb effect, where they just kind of throw down a lower price, poof, and then they're gone. And so that kind of looks like what's going on here. They smoke bomb the price, and yeah, they haven't updated recently. They haven't made any communications to their already purchased community, so nobody really knows what's going on. As you can see, the updates were going pretty decent when it first launched, until a couple little bug fixes one bug fix in October, and it's been quiet ever since. And I know it's only January, but still, like these kind of things are very easy to see where the game's going to go. The red flags are written all over this thing, right? With its lack of polish in certain respects to, you know, showing people what the game's all about. Somebody did mention that there's actually spelling mistakes still in the game. And I mean, if you're not even like, it's one thing if you're not fixing your spelling mistakes because you're working on a massive content update. That's understandable, right? Because you'll eventually get there. But if you're not doing anything and you post one tiny little bug fix, well, how about like adding another little bullet to that little tiny update you did that said, hey, I fixed the spelling mistake in this, or I fixed the spelling mistake in that. I'm not going to spend time trying to find all the mistakes and those silly kind of things. I don't really care because I'm going to be running out of time in order to refund this. So I can't let that lapse 2 hours. I want to make sure that I do refund it on time, and I definitely want to show people what they can kind of expect for HopeLine. It's not something, given the facts that you're seeing right now on the community hub from the people that are still surrounding this project, it's not something you want to be a part of, regardless if the price is only $3. So beware of that little smoke bomb effect that they had. And we'll see if they actually come back and address anything ever again. But there's a good possibility that's not going to happen. So as you can see, I've been chatting for, I don't know, a couple minutes now, and it's still loading. And it's, even if the developer was here, I wouldn't be very happy having to deal with some of that stuff. So we can read through some people's comments. How to not clone Rust. I can totally see it. A lot of the similar stuff that happens when in these games, as like when they start going wrong, people start posting the same contents. Where are you? What's going on? What's going to happen? What can we expect? You know, let's see something, and no developers, moderators, or anybody controlling their forum space is replying to anything. So once that starts to happen and these comments just trickle in, you know the writing's on the wall, because unless an unforeseen accidents befell the developers, I'm like, who really knows? But somebody's got to say something if they're control of your business, especially if it's after the fact that you've dropped the price, and then, you know, we'll have to do that. We'll have to figure that one out later. Well, so I'm in the game, and I can't move. Motherfucker. Sorry about that. Oh, I just waited this long. Can't do anything. Holy shit. What happened there? Okay, controls. There's not much, many options for this game. Escape, tab, okay. So here you are inside HopeLine. For $3, if this was what you're looking at, I would be okay. That's all right. Like, I'm not sure where these assets were created, if the developer did them himself. I don't recognize them personally. I'm used to somebody using a little bit more, actually that's not true. These kind of look like they might be from like Game Guru or something, but this is a Unity game. Typical survival fare here. Yeah, you started off with a pipe, and so I managed to find that club on my brief 3 minutes. You can gather wood. I don't really understand the crafting here. So hit tab. There's a crafting menu here. I can't, like, I have stuff or I have some wood. I have 15 pieces of wood, but it's telling me I have none, and I don't understand why I can't do anything with this wood. Like, what do you do with it? What did I just do? What is this now? Yeah, see, I'm not very, I don't understand, and I'm not going to spend the time to try to understand because I don't want anybody to play this. I don't want people to think I'm trying to promote this game, because it's definitely not worth promoting if the developer is not being responsible in the usual normal business sense. And I fully understand people to understand what I'm saying when I mean business sense, that you can't just start selling a product and walk away from it and expect it to, oh my god, expect people to be happy when you're not addressing the problems that are still present in the product you're trying to sell. So I haven't seen any wildlife here. I imagine there's going to be some around. If anybody does want to see some footage of this, I'll try to find a decent playthrough video, and I'll direct you towards that. There's not really anything else that you'd see in any other survival game that's going to make this one a little bit more special. In fact, there's no story or anything to it, right? You're just trying to survive. So yeah, here you are, HopeLine. If anybody knows anything regarding DHH Game, I'm not sure where they're 100% based. It looks like China. So I would love some feedback, and anybody have any suggestions about how to improve my videos, please do. But for right now, gonna leave it at that. Have a great day, like and subscribe, and we'll move on to the next game. Thanks.